Oh, why, hello there, everybody. Oh, what's the matter? Do I look a little different? Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them? Okay, I'll tell you. Come here. A couple days ago, April 18th, I was hungry and I didn't know what to eat. My friends recommended Taco Bell, but I didn't know if I could trust them. But I went anyways. I ate the Taco Bell. And then next thing you know, this happened.
Oh crap, I gotta use the wash. Oh shit!
I tripped, and my face landed in the toilet bowl. This was my regular voice before that happened, by the way. Yo, what's going on, everybody? So I just watched The Batman. Wow. Now, it's not the greatest Batman movie I ever watched, but it sure as hell damn is a good one. Well, today I'm just gonna share my feelings and overall thoughts with you guys. And yeah, let's talk about The Batman. Directed by Matt Reeves, who's responsible for the Planet of the Apes trilogy, Cloverfield, Let Me In, that vampire movie where that chick gets all freaky, and yeah, The Batman. Now, Robert Pattinson, I didn't really expect him to do a great job as Batman at first, but then I watched some of his other movies and, well, I gotta admit, he's a pretty great actor. Kind of an underestimated in my opinion, but he played an amazing Batman in this movie. In fact, I would say he's actually pretty dark. He plays a more detective kind of Batman. You know, he goes around solving the riddles with Commissioner Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright, who plays an amazing Commissioner Gordon, but he won't catch me, not if I can help it. But yeah, no, so they have great chemistry in the movie, and it was cool seeing them solve the Riddler's puzzles and riddles. Paul Dano played a really great dark Riddler, I would say. In fact, I would say that the Riddler is the scariest character in the movie. Well, not scariest, you know, he kind of plays more of a Hannibal Lecter kind of character. But hey, I wasn't expecting that. Usually I'm used to the Jim Carrey one where, you know, he's all cartoony, laughs and goes hee 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 and all that stuff, you know. But yeah, the Riddler's great. You know, and there's a point to why he's killing the elites in Gotham. He's trying to take down the chain of order from the targeting corrupt coked out mayors, and overall just wants to make Gotham a better place, but he goes about it a bit differently than Batman. You know, Batman sticks by his code, you know. He's too afraid to put an end to things for good. And you know, sometimes I wish the Bat would just kind of let loose, and what's the point of locking us in Arkham Asylum when we can just bust out and bust another review up on the tube? You know what I'm saying? And you know, I love the Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. A lot of people say that he's emo and dark and depressing, but Gotham is a depressing city to live in. It's so corrupt, and you can tell that everybody's just gone mad. The city of Gotham itself, you can tell that every character, every citizen living in Gotham is very depressed and just beaten down and glim and gloomy and all that sorts. So it's fitting that Bruce Wayne himself is a little darker in this movie. I have to admit, Zoe Kravitz, she played a sexy Catwoman. No, seriously, she's pretty hot. You know, if I was Batman, yeah, she was an interesting Catwoman. She did have a pivotal role in the movie and some character growth. Now, a lot of people kind of hate on that, but I enjoyed those moments. I remember Catwoman since I was a little kid, grew up with the character, so I like that she got her own chance to shine in the Batman film. A lot of the Batman movies, I have to admit that you don't really see a lot of Batman in there. But in this movie, you see Batman a lot. In fact, he's pretty much through the whole movie, which I enjoyed. I don't care about Bruce Wayne and his money. I want the Batman. I wish the movie had more fight scenes overall. There was like probably 2-3 action scenes in the whole 3-hour movie. I wish that there was a little bit more action sprinkled in, because it is a slow burn movie. You know, you're kind of just walking around with Batman, hanging out with Commissioner Gordon, solving the Riddler's puzzles, and which is cool. I love hanging out with Batman. I'd hang out with him any day. I want the Batman. I think the movie could have done better with more overall action scenes. I mean, the action scene at the start of the movie was fantastic. Wish we got more of that. Even in the Penguin's Club, in the Penguin Lounge or whatever, the fight scene in the club, that was pretty awesome. You know, Batman's kicking ass and using his gadgets and using his little Bat Club gadget. That's another thing. I wish this movie showed off more of Batman's gadgets overall. I mean, I would have loved to see more technical gadgets that Batman has in his utility belt. Yeah, it was cool that the Batarang on his chest is like this cool little knife and all that. But hey, you have to admit, my knife is way cooler, isn't it? Jeffrey Wright was an amazing Commissioner Gordon. Really liked his character in this movie. He was really dark and grim, and it had that, when him and Batman interact, it has like that Sin City noir kind of detective theme going on to it, which was pretty cool. Now, Paul Dano played an amazing Riddler, but I do wish that we got to see more of the Riddler in the movie. I mean, at the end of the movie, he's basically just whining and yelling out loud. You're trying to scare me, the Joker, of all people. But hey, you know, if someone's gonna star in a Batman movie and it's not me, then I'm gonna be very critical about it, especially the performance. But yeah, no, he was a solid Riddler. You know, he was good for the modern age. He made the Riddler really dark. Andy Serkis played a pretty cool Alfred. Him and Bruce Wayne had this more darker father and son relationship in this movie. Loved the scenes that he was in, and we get some backstory on Bruce Wayne's family and where they came from, and it's a more darker take, which reminds me a lot about the Telltale Batman games, you know, where his father wasn't this angel of Gotham. There was more that happened behind the scenes, and I'm glad that they kind of went that route. Colin Farrell, you know, he played a pretty cool Penguin. It was cool with the whole aesthetics and makeup, and you couldn't really tell that he was Penguin, but he played a gangster Penguin. That's a Penguin you don't mess with. You know, he got rifles and guns and a gang, runs a lounge, and which has another VIP lounge inside of it. That's badass. But yeah, good Penguin. The Batmobile was really cool. I like the design of it. It has a really sporty look to it. Loved it. Amazing scenes. I just wish that we got to see more explosive gadgets from the Batmobile, like missiles or, you know, other Batman gadgets that he has inside the vehicles, and that would have been more interesting instead of just a typical race scene. John Turturro, he played a good Falcone in this movie. He had that gangster kind of vibe to him, and voice was pretty on spot. His character, his acting, that was pretty cool. He's the best Falcone, I think so. Even better than the Falcone in Batman Begins. Overall, Batman was an amazing experience because you can just see every character in this movie is just upset, depressed, and just on edge. The music was really good. The theme that plays, and then you hear Batman's footsteps and he's coming out from the shadows. It's cool to see how Batman's armor is so heavy. He's moving in it and fighting crime and still kicking ass. Just shows how strong Batman is. Now, the movie's length didn't bother me. The other movies were pretty long too, like The Dark Knight Rises and, you know, The Dark Knight. They were almost about the same length, so it didn't really bother me, but I did feel like this movie had a little bit too much filler in it. And it's an amazing experience to watch the first time, but the second time it does become more of a chore. I need some time before I rewatch it, but I will watch bits and pieces of it here and there whenever I can, just to get my Batman fix. Great movie. I just wish it didn't have much filler and wish we could have had more action scenes, a little bit more gadgets from the Batmobile, but overall great solid movie. The ending was pretty good. Things come full circle. Batman realizes, with one of the villains saying, "I'm vengeance," and then, you know, Batman remembers when he said, "I'm vengeance to the criminals," so it's like he's no better than them. They're fighting for their own cause, which they believe to be right and justice. And even though they're going about it the wrong way, their main goal is to still save Gotham, but in a different, darker way, using violence, guns, and all that stuff. And they're just trying to get rid of the elites, really. I wish that scene with the Joker wasn't cut in the final movie. They should have kept that in. It was pretty cool. I really liked it. Barry Keoghan played a great Joker. You know, I like his scars and all that stuff, and he looks really dark, and I'm sure that he's gonna be the villain in either the final movie or maybe the next one. It seems like they're doing the Batman No Man's Land story arc from the comics, which is pretty cool, where, you know, the Riddler becomes Hush, and then Batman seeks the Joker and seeks his advice to go and find Hush, who is the Riddler, in order to save Gotham, which is flooded. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Matt Reeves has in store for us in the next movie. I can't wait. If I was to score this movie, yeah, a 7.8 out of 10. It's great. Go watch it. You'll have a blast. And yeah, these are just my thoughts and opinions on the movie overall, just kind of a quick take. And these are just things which I can remember at the top of my head, no script. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, I got a bank to go rob, so I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully not in Arkham Asylum.